Hey folks, Belal here from LearnToSell.io, and today we're going to be doing a cold call script for a company called Podium. And what I love about this one is they have a really complicated product. I oftentimes hear sellers, when they're trying to come up with a cold call opener, struggle because they're like, oh, my product does so much, so I want to create this sort of pain menu. I want to do this thing where I kind of vomit 3-4 different points and see which one sticks because we do so much for so many. And fortunately, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. So this is going to be a really good one. Where did I find Podium, by the way? Just online. There's one of the companies that popped up in my feed. So let's jump into what they do and how we can make a killer script for them. And when you go to Podium, you're going to see they talk about something like get more leads, make more money. I don't even know what that means. How, right? There's some sort of conversion platform. They're powered by AI. It's all really generic stuff. It really doesn't tell what they do. Now, when you look at their product, that's a lot of stuff. Website chat, reviews, phones, contacts, payments, surveys. I mean, goodness, and industries from automotive to retail to healthcare to, can you imagine calling a dentist and then the next call you're calling a mechanic shop? Like that's a lot. That's a big spread. That's two very different businesses. So they're doing a lot for a lot of different businesses. So let's see how we can make this message succinct and hit home. Now, what are we trying to accomplish with the mic drop method? Again, we are doing permission, problem, provoke. So let's make sure that we understand the format. Again, when we cold call, we are trying to start dialogues. Pitching is a monologue. So we want to avoid pitching. What is the alternative to pitching? What if we present a problem and give our buyers a chance to either embrace or reject that problem instead of embrace or reject us? So let's kind of shift the focus away from us as the seller trying to make a pitch that our buyer might find interesting and start talking about them and their problems and see if we can get their attention that way. So that's the idea behind the mic drop method. We're going to go permission, problem, provoke, and get through the first essentially 15 to about 45 seconds of the cold call. So that way we're inviting our buyer into a dialogue. Now for Podium, this is essentially what they do. If we're going to kind of condense it just to make this a little bit easier for you to understand how I'm going to get to a cold call script for them. At the end of the day, what they do is they help you rank higher on Google. Okay. That in turn helps you attract more leads. And then they happen to make it easier for you to deal with those extra leads through some texting, through some payment methods. Okay. But that's the gist of it if we're going to boil it down to its most basic. So the problem is this. Our buyers don't have a universal language to explain their problems. Okay. When we're talking about attracting leads, that's a very different with a dentist that's trying to attract patients, or a mechanic shop that's trying to attract vehicles, people that actually need service, versus, a restaurant that's trying to attract people dining in. So how do we create that universal language? How do we express that pain in a way that is clear and better than even our buyers could explain it? Well, let's look at the buyer's words. Let's cherry pick here for a moment. So I found this review for Podium online, and there's some very interesting language in this. Now, I love when people use words that are very emotional, because I know behind that, the limbic brain, the part of our brain that's responsible for fight, flight, or freeze, is getting activated. And I heard some limbic brain emotional words in this review. They're saying we are solving our terrible online reputation. Okay. Sitting at a 3.2 star rating on Google was destroying our business. Podium fixed that within a month. Destroying the business, terrible online reputation. These sounds like really serious problems. Really serious problems. And then they go on to say Podium became our de facto mass text messaging platform. Perfect. And on top of it, it saved us some money on processing fees. Okay, great. So it's not just going to do one thing, it's going to service the rest of the business. But at the end of the day, how do you know if your online presence is destroying your business? That's a big, scary unknown. And I think every small business owner can appreciate that. Every small business owner can understand the value of that. So let's see if we can put that into our script. So mic drop now. Let's go ahead and break it out. We want our permission-based opener, our problem statement, and then our provoking question is going to get a dialogue. So it might sound something like this. Hey, Tom, my name is Belal. I'm from Podium. Listen, you're not expecting my call. Do you have a moment? I will be brief. So there's the permission-based opener right there. Okay. Now we're going to transition. I appreciate the time, Tom. The reason for my call is this. You know how important it is to get your Google reputation right. You've heard this before. And the thing is, you are one Google search away right now from getting a new customer. But the flip side of that is kind of freaky. You're also one Google search away from losing a potential customer. And I'm wondering, how do you make sure that a bad online reputation or even an average one isn't costing you money right now? And we're going to pause. And if we're clever about it, we may have looked up their business and even picked out exactly how many reviews they have and exactly what their star rating is right now. Okay. We want to hit that emotional trigger around what is it costing your business? How many Google searches are actually causing you to lose business instead of win it? And we're going to lead with that. We're going to see if we can get an emotional response from the buyer. Because if there's somebody like that reviewer that we saw earlier, they're going to know that their online reputation is damaging their business. And we want to use that messaging. Can bad reviews be destroying your business? I hear this often as a concern from small business owners, that they're worried that the Google searches that are supposed to be getting them clients are actually making them lose clients to people that look better online. How are you handling that today? Okay, so there's a couple ways we can morph this, but that's the emotional trigger we're going to hit. That idea that your online reputation, if it isn't sterling, can cost you money. And you can't afford that as a small business owner. So what's your strategy? What do you try to do? And that's how we're going to get the conversation started. Then we can come in with the other stuff. Be like, by the way, not only can our tool potentially help you with that, we know that as you get more leads, it becomes more work. So we can facilitate that through text. And on top of it, help you with collecting payments. So we'll bring that other stuff later into the conversation, but we got to hit that emotional trigger and see if our small business owner is willing to embrace the problem, the reality of not having a sterling, picture perfect online reputation. All right, that's it for me. Take care.